What's up, everybody? It's Hank here with Break MMA. Really pumped for this episode. For many of you guys who follow me, you also follow Bellator, follow LFA, all kinds of different organizations and other fighters. There's all kinds of promotions besides UFC. A lot of people don't know that. They just hear UFC and only think UFC. But my guest today, Adam Primetime Townsend. How are you today, Adam?
Primetime. Good, bro. What's going on with you, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just was watching a little bit of NBA before we jumped on. He's on some Call of Duty. Are you on Call of Duty 3 or the new one?
Black Ops 4, bro. Killing it right now. Nice. I'm getting smoked up now, Don's.
Online mode, or are you just doing like career?
I don't think I've ever played a Call of Duty career.
The career's fun. You should go through
it. Yeah, I've heard they're pretty good, but I don't know. It's just something I can't get into now. I really enjoy the online mode. So it's better I'll play.
Well, today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about the signing that he just signed with another organization, got him a fight coming up already, which is weird because we talked a little bit about it before we went on there. He wasn't allowed to release it, but somebody else already released it, which is a little weird. And we can talk a little bit about future matchups for him, other organizations. I might ask him his opinion on Conor khabib and all the aftermath on that. But to start this off, the first thing I looked up about you was I looked up that one fight you had in LFA 5 where you won with 7 seconds left. That was a crazy highlight. I looked up your highlight reel, and one of the first things when you click on it, I seen MGK Eminem diss, and it was like all the things that were liked and all the things linked. Which song was better, in your opinion? I'm not talking about who's better. Eminem obviously has accomplished way more than MGK could ever dream of. I'm talking song versus song, diss versus diss. Yeah. Are you Rap Devil or are you Killshot?
Well, I'll say this: I'm a huge Eminem fan. I like MGK, I really did, and there's a few songs that I like with MGK. I know a lot of songs, to be honest with you, that MGK puts out that I really like, but MGK has had some good songs. I'm not saying MGK is trash by any means, but what I will say is that you can't make a diss track about somebody and compliment them the whole song. Like that was my biggest problem with Rap Devil is. Eminem in his kill shot, he broke down in the first 10 seconds of the song and said everything that MGK said about him. He said, you're old and your beard's weird. That's the only shit that MGK said the whole time. Now, song, if you want to get a banger, like a song that you're going to listen to and dance to and stuff like that, it was a song. MGK was a song. It wasn't a diss to me. It had a chorus, it had a hook, it had all, I'm saying, like, it had all that stuff to it. I think that's the biggest difference to me compared to, between the two disses and Eminem's lyrics, man, if you just go through and listen to some of the stuff that Eminem really explaining and saying, called him the son and telling him to pop champagne into his shot and everything, you know what I mean? Like, that's, he just said some good stuff, bro, and it really just killed MGK. Now, a lot of people say, you go against Eminem, his career suicide, blah, blah. I don't believe that's the case. I think that, it didn't hurt MGK none at all. I think MGK fans are still MGK fans and Eminem fans are still Eminem fans. So I don't know why people always say that because I don't feel like that's true at all.
Yeah, Eminem is a legend, no doubt. Eminem was the reason I started listening to rap music, as a white kid from Tennessee. And I forgot to tell you that, too. I live in Tennessee as well.
Yeah, Cookville, right? Or Crossville?
Crossville. Yeah, I seen there you were said proud Tennessean.
Damn right, boy. Trailer trash right here from the proud state of Tennessee.
But as far as like diss for diss, like you said, which song's going to get played in the club first? Probably Rap Devil. Rap Devil's a better club banger. And
that's what I'm saying.
Like a better kind of radio version too. He's kind of like Eminem cusses a lot, MGK cusses a lot too, but you could take Rap Devil and spin it and put it on the radio. You probably couldn't do that with Killshot.
Well, yeah, I agree with you 100%. But I mean, I still think Eminem. I mean, as far as diss goes, you don't have to agree that Eminem killed him on the diss. I mean, he caught him.
He killed him. He talk about his daughter.
So we can agree that Eminem had the better diss, but MGK had the better song. We can agree that.
I don't know about better diss. I mean, you said that MGK all did was compliment him. True, but what about all the other lines? You know, you were named after a candy. I was named after a gangster. That is a sick fucking line.
MGK got a man bun.
That's. But did you see MGK's Breakfast Club interview?
Yeah, and it was hilarious too because he stuttered about 10,000 times on that interview. That's what another thing I was watching on there was how he said that MGK or that Eminem was stuttering. Was shut the fuck up. It shows like MGK literally stuttering like 50 fucking times on the Breakfast Club interview.
And he was talking shit about Eminem stuttering while he was stuttering.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
As far as words though, like the lines, Eminem had some killer lines. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. I know the song, off the top of my head, but MGK, in my opinion, had more truth. Like when he said, "I can't come on Shade 45 because of you." Call Sway, and that's why they won't let me come on the radio. Paul Rose trying to get me kicked off of Interscope. All that's true. All that is 100% true.
Yeah.
So I think it's close though. It's like if I had to judge it, like fighting, split decision, Rap Devil.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I still disagree. But like I said, the way I look at it is that it's finally cool that I respect MGK just for coming after Eminem. Nobody else has ever really had. Nobody else actually. There's been a few other guys. But like actually big name people that's really come after Eminem with an actually good song. He's by far the first one, in my opinion, to do it. So I respect MGK for that.
And a lot of people
like I said, I still.
A lot of people forget that he's a multi-million platinum selling artist. MGK had Till I Die, which is a whole song just about Cleveland, and that's like double platinum. And then Wild Boy with Waka Flocka is like double platinum. He's got a bunch of double platinum albums. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, his sales are nowhere near anywhere the Eminem is. That's kind of another big thing. Like, Eminem, when he says a lot of truth in his shit too, bro, he said, I don't think about you. He's like, you think that you're, I don't know. Like I said,
it's close.
We're going to disagree.
It's close. It's close, but as far as who's better, I
don't feel like the diss is close. I feel like the song being a song that people listen to, people are probably going to listen to. People that are MGK fans are definitely going to listen to that song a bit more. My friend Matt, he's a big Eminem fan too, and he thought the same. He thinks the same way that I do. He was like, you know what, MGK put out a good song, but as far as it being a diss, it really don't really hurt Eminem as far as what he said about him. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's definitely very close. Like we said, I love Eminem, love MGK. I wish that they would have kept going a little bit. It's kind of died off, and they haven't really said anything to each other lately, and it's kind of just went away.
Yeah, I didn't see. I saw MGK put out another song, just because I figured he would try to regain something back off of it, keep his name out there. And I definitely didn't see Eminem coming back out with another song himself. So I thought that's how it ended with MGK putting out another song, which it still could happen, I guess. You know what I mean? But that's how I saw it in the.
Jumping to MMA though. You ordered Conor khabib, right?
Of course.
Before you ordered it or before you watched it, who did you pick? What was your prediction? Who won what round? How did you see it going in your mind before it happened?
The thing about it is I've never been a Conor. I don't know how much you know how much I don't dislike Conor, but I dislike Conor pretty fucking heavily. So with that being said, I respect Conor and the things that he's done with his mouth. The reason I don't respect Conor is because he didn't come up the way that I thought he should. He didn't have to fight the hard-nosed fights that I thought he should fight in order to get where he is. Other guys that have been the same as him really didn't have those opportunities to have their chance. Because Conor used his mouth, and I'm not hating on Conor for doing what he does because he's the one that he's a millionaire now. So I respect all that, but he got a lot of fights with a lot of guys that just want to stand up with him, and his boxing is the best boxing in MMA, and I can say that. But at the same time, he gets in these guys' heads, and they want to go out there and Conor McGregor. So then when they don't do that shit, then it's the issue for them. and then they start making stupid shots. And I thought that if Chad Mendez had a full camp on, that he would have smoked Conor back in the day. He took that fight on 8 days' notice. So the big thing with me is Khabib stood up a lot in his last 2 fights. So I was really thinking like, hey, Khabib's going to get out there. And I called the fight exactly word for word. I did a live video on it. And I was like, here's what's going to happen. Khabib's going to go out there and Khabib's going to go out there and take him down in the first 2 rounds. If he don't finish him in those first 2 rounds, he's going to stand up with him the 3rd and the 4th, maybe even the 5th, and Conor's going to hit him a few times, and then he's going to take him down and he's going to finish him. Khabib really didn't get hit, but I called the fight pretty much word for word exactly the way it was going to happen, the way it went. But I was definitely going for Khabib. I wanted Khabib to win. He's a humble guy. I just felt like that he had just the skills and the tools to beat McGregor, and he obviously did. But McGregor just gets in too many people's heads, and that's where they mess up. But I knew Khabib didn't act like that at all the whole time. So I'm glad that the fight went the way it did for sure.
I had the same prediction. I had Khabib by 2nd round submission, and it was by 4th round submission. So I had the method right, but a little bit off. And I thought it would be cut by Kimura. I thought he would get him with a Kimura because Conor's, and he almost did. If you remember, in that 2nd round, he had him in a Kimura and let it go. But Khabib, I've said it the whole time, in videos leading up to it, there is nobody in the UFC that's going to beat Khabib. People say Tony Ferguson, people say, all this, all that. Tony Ferguson got held down by Kevin Lee. What the fuck do you think Khabib's going to do to him? There's nobody that Khabib cannot smash. He might lose. He might get tired and lose, or get caught in a darce by Tony. He can get caught. But as far as straight grappling versus grappling or grappling versus striking, there's no better. So I had Khabib dominating. No worse matchup for Conor than Khabib. Because I thought Conor did good though. Conor did great at not getting smashed.
Great. I can agree with you there. I didn't expect Conor to make it. When Khabib got him down, and that's another thing I didn't like about Conor is he's just a tap easy. He's what I call those guys. These guys that do really good when the shit's going good, and then when they start getting that losing end of the deal, they give up. And I've just never been about that anyway in my life. If I ever gave up or anything, or even come close to tapping or anything, and I couldn't imagine just ever laying there and getting choked or laying there and getting pounded on and not trying to defend and not trying to do different things. And that Conor does that just really shows the type of really fighter and person that he is in my eyes, and that's just the reason I never respected him. But I respect a lot of things that he's done for the sport as far as just getting the money and doing things like he's done. But other than that, dude, I just it's just hard for me to like the guy, just because he just has this immunity, and that's another thing that pisses me off is he can go. If any person ever would have even went into Bellator's cage outside the UFC and done what he done, he'd have been in the UFC. Then he comes and goes and destroys the bus and hurts innocent people and women, and he still don't even really get a slap. Nothing even happens to the guy. Any other fighter, period, would have been kicked out of the UFC.
Yeah, for sure. They play favorite. Dana, that's Dana's golden boy.
But some people say John Jones is that way too, but I don't, in the sense, I feel that way with John Jones too, but at the same time, John Jones ain't done nothing really. To me, but here's how I feel though. It shouldn't matter what you do in your personal life. If I want to go and get a DUI, that shouldn't have nothing to do with my fighting career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's your personal life.
It's my personal life. If I go and run over a female and hit and run, that's my personal life. It should have nothing to do with my UFC fighting career. Now, when you're in the UFC's spotlight and you're attacking UFC fighters at an event or a Bellator event or whatever the situation is, I think that's a different standard, but simply because of that. But at the same, like I said, I just don't think that I've just never understood why a football player get caught doing this or that and get suspended from the league. I understand the league got a certain vision to uphold and blah blah. They don't care. I mean, they're going to sweep most of that stuff on the rug anyway. You know what I'm saying? That stuff drives me crazy.
Yeah, all favorites too. Like with Conor in that bus attack, if that was Eddie Alvarez, let's say Eddie Alvarez ran and attacked that bus, he's fired.
Yeah. Anybody but Conor, Ronda Rousey, or John Jones.
But yeah, maybe Khabib, but it would be tough because Khabib he's a star, and Dana knows he's a star, and we'll get into that. So Khabib taps him, and he jumps over the octagon and attacks Dylan Dennis, and all fucking hell breaks loose. What was your initial thought? Was your initial thought, oh, I mean, I was watching live, and my jaw was dropped. I thought it was insane. You're a fight fan, you're a fan just like I'm a fan too, and we love excitement. We love when shit happens that we're not expecting, but if you love the sport like I love it and you love it, it doesn't look good on us. It makes us look bad, and if for the millions of eyes that was watching that night, 2.4 million, if that was your first time ever watching a UFC event, you probably left that event thinking that they're nothing but a bunch of fucking wild maniacs.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts?
No, I mean, I agree with all that.
What did you think?
I do. I agree with all that, and that shit. At the end of the day, never should Khabib done that. I'm not saying that Khabib should ever done that. I don't blame the motherfucker not one bit though. That's what I do. Like, if somebody gonna talk shit about my dad, talk shit about my country, talk shit about my religion, talk shit about my, my national, everything. Conor. That's what Conor does. He likes to get in these guys' head. But there's just certain things and certain shit that you can't do and talk about people the way he done. And when he done all that stuff, I don't blame Khabib a bit, and I'm glad, dude. I fucking loved it. Like, I thought that was the coolest shit anybody had ever done, simply because, that dude just wasn't taking no shit. And, his teammates and stuff, attacking Conor, I didn't agree with that either. But I understand it. Like I said, you just can't talk all this shit. And Conor's one of these people, too. He reminds me of the bully off of, what's that movie called? The Christmas Story. The bully off the Christmas Story, right? He talked all this shit, picked on this kid forever, and he finally got his fucking mouth busted, and he wants to go home, and cry about it. See, that's what I think is that's what I think's different about that shit. But I thought it was cool too that Conor didn't press no charges or do none of that too. And I thought that was pretty respectable for Conor. That made me respect Conor a little bit more than I ever have.
Khabib's definitely not a motherfucker you want mad at you or charging at you, because that's a scary dude.
Yeah.
That's a scary dude to fight.
Well, that Dylan Dennis dude, I talk shit to him forever too. Like, man, for one, I believe 100% with all my heart that I could beat Conor, because I would do the same shit to Khabib. I'd go out there and take him down. I'd hold him down, I'd get him tired, and then I'd either submit him or I would TKO him. I've said that for fucking years about Conor. But people fucking want to go out there and want to knock Conor McGregor out, and it gets them fucked up. And that's what I tell everybody. It's like, dude, that's the key to beating Conor, is take him down. But the only person that's ever taken him down was Chad Johnson. But all these other people, and Nate Diaz, that's another thing I'll never understand, how Nate Diaz is a money fight, is a fight at all. Nate Diaz is another person that I would smoke. His record's like 16-13 or something. I don't know his record, but it's horrible.
It's like 22-11 or something like that.
Yeah, it's about as bad as Artem Lobar. It's about as bad as that. But keep in mind, I do realize that he's fought world-class guys essentially his whole career. I'm not saying that.
He's beat Cowboy. He beat Cowboy. Yeah. He beat Conor.
Yeah, he fought a lot of competition I have. I will say that about him. But I still feel like I have the style that beats him. I kick his legs hard. I take him down. I don't get submitted by him. I feel like I have the style that beats Diaz. And I just never understood why people look at Diaz as the money fight or the big fight. Like, that shit's so dumb. It's like, he beat Conor, but, he was the only person that was durable enough to take those punches. And he didn't even take Conor down because Diaz has probably the worst wrestling in the UFC, period, as far as takedown and takedown defense. And then on top of that, Conor shot on Diaz, about got guillotined, and then got rear naked choke. You know what I'm saying? And tapped as quick as he could. So I'm just saying, when shit rolls downhill for Conor, he fucking throws in the towel pretty quickly.
Nate's got great Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but like you said, his wrestling, like when he fought Rory McDonald, Rory ragdolled him. If Nate fought Khabib, Nate's tweeting out saying, I'll just wait for Khabib. I love Nate Diaz, and you're kind of pulling at my heartstrings a little bit, because I have the Metal Militia skull tatted on me with 209 on it. My youngest son is named Nathan after Nate Diaz. And yes, my youngest son is named after Nate Diaz. I'm a huge Nate Diaz fan. So you're kind of talking at me.
I love Nate Diaz. When Diaz fucked up Cowboy Cerrone, flipped him off in between rounds, that was one of the coolest shit I ever seen in the sport. I agree. I'm not a hater on Nate Diaz, but I just don't believe the hype behind Nate Diaz anymore. Like I said, like Conor and Diaz are two dudes I think that I would beat, and I would beat. No, do you remember when he got beat by Josh Thompson? That's how I think I would do Nate Diaz.
Yeah, that's Nate's only TKO loss. The only time he's ever been TKO'd.
Yeah. my homie said he thinks I get socked and slapped.
It's definitely one of those good, but I definitely agree with you about Nate's wrestling. He's got great boxing, great jiu-jitsu, very durable, can take a punch, heart for days, but his wrestling is his weakness.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and I think that, like I said, I definitely think it's a hard fight. You know, for me, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, like, dude, I think, you know, you set people have them recipes and those different types of, you know, styles make fights, of course. You know what I mean? So.
Justin Gaethje comes to mind. I've been saying for like 6 months, book Justin Gaethje and Nate Diaz, and you'll have a fun fucking fight.
Yeah, I'm a Justin Gaethje fan, dude. I didn't realize that dude, like, I got offered to fight him, and that's what I was telling somebody the other day, too, was like about that I watched this video, like, explaining Khabib, the conspiracy, like, with Ali Abdulaziz and with, you know, the other guys. I watched all that stuff, man. That stuff was pretty fucking interesting and pretty crazy. You know, it was just talking about that. But that Ali guy called me at one point in time, wanted me to fight Justin Gaethje. When I was fighting for the RFA, he wanted me to fight Justin Gaethje for World Series of Fighting, you know, because he was matchmaker and doing all that stuff for those guys too. So, it was a weird thing when I saw all that stuff and remembered who that guy was and stuff. But
yeah, Gaethje's a monster. Gaethje brings it.
I do, you know, Gaethje brings it, dude. Like, but you know, Gaethje got exposed to UFC. That, you know, he's got beat his last couple times.
He's 2-2. He won his last one against James Vick. He's 2-2 in the UFC.
Right. So I mean, you know, he was, you know, looked at to be the next guy, but then, you know, kind of got toned down just a little bit. But like I said, I still think he's a great fighter and definitely a tough ass fight for any fucking body. Period. No matter who you are.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even for Khabib, it'll be a tough fight for Khabib because he's got good wrestling too, and he's got heart.
So have you ever had any contacts or calls from the UFC or talked to anybody from there? Because I know you fought for LFA, you fought for all these other organizations, and you can go ahead now and announce your new signing. But have you ever had any kind of contact with anybody from the UFC?
Yeah, man, Joe Silva. I mean, like I said, like, you know, I've done the McGregor versus Uriah Faber season. I don't really want to go into all that again because it's too long a story to tell, honestly. But you know, the Conor McGregor versus Uriah Faber show. You know, I made that show, and then after I made the show, okay, baby, just give me a second. After I made the show, I stayed out in Vegas for a week, done all this stuff, and I had to fight my first fight for the RFA. After I had about a week out from flying out there to fight to get in the house, they sent me a message saying, "Hey, you're an alternate on the show now. We'll give you a call, let you know when you're coming out." Never heard back. And I messaged the producers, like text them, call them, everything. They never got me a reason. Since then, Joe Silva told me, you know, if I beat this guy, if I beat that guy, I would be in. Never happened. Then when Joe Silva retired, Sean Shelby never even ever responded to me. Like, I've sent Sean Shelby probably 50 emails, talked to him left and right. He's never even come close to responding. Joe Silva talked to me all the time. You know, he was the one that told me to come out and try out for Ultimate Fighter. You know, got me on, blah, blah, all that stuff. And then when he retired, you know, Mick Maynard took over. And, you know, Mick, every time I talk to Mick, he's like, "Bro, you're just not my weight class. There's nothing I can really do for you." So that's kind of how that stuff works. And I think I just got Kevin some bad ends of the deal with the UFC, and it just ain't worked out for me the way it should have. So it drives me crazy because I know I'm definitely good enough to be there, but, you know, for whatever reason, I'm just not. I just don't get in. You know, I don't know what the reason is, but that bridge is that ship sailed. I don't give a shit about the UFC no more. You know, I'm making good money outside of there and getting to travel all over the world and everything else. So it's a cool ass time for me.
Yeah, you definitely have the record. You know, you have a winning record. You have the fights. You have the stylistic. You know, you have exciting wins. You have exciting come from behind wins. I don't see why.
Yeah, it's not like I'm not bums either. That's the thing too. Like man, like all these guys, these jacked ass up Russians I'm fighting and everything else. You know, like I'm not fighting bums, dude. I fought tough fights my whole career. I probably got 3 or 4 bums on my record. And the only reason those bums are even on my record is because dudes backed out on me last minute. You know what I'm saying? I fought all the tough fights. I've not had an easy career by any means.
Yeah, that would have been crazy too if you mentioning all that about McGregor and your own personal thought on McGregor. It would have went full circle if you would have been in that house with him. You literally would have.
First time, I mean, out of the fucking first episode, like just to get my name out there, I just tagged him and stuck him out as soon as he said anything. I swear to God, 100%.
I kind of believe you.
100%. And, you know, because how cool would that be, like, to get that fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, just talk a little bit of shit and get that fight with him, you know what I'm saying? That's your shot.
And then let's say you win, like, you know, you grind him out and you win, you're instantly fucking there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But where are you signed now? Is it ABC Moscow? Is that the name of it?
No, I signed with a company called Brave FC. I think they're based out of the Middle East. Super cool promotion, goes a lot of cool places. My next fight's in South Africa.
Whoa.
Against a guy named Mark Holm. So, you know, it's cool, man. I'm pumped about it.
155 or 170?
170.
170, but I'm assuming you also could make 155, or is that too much of a cut?
No, I can make 155. I'm just fat, bro. I walk around about 200 pounds. Like, my career's just been so wild these last few years. You know, I ran for office back here. I kind of just took a semi-retirement. You know, I just got tired of being drugged around the foot, you know, just drug around and shit like that, man. Like I said, like I just always felt like my record is too good to be, you know, just be getting thrown around and screwed around like I've been. So it's just kind of always pissed me off. And I don't know.
It's one of those things, you know, like you said, you've got the talent, you've got the experience. Yeah. Why would they not? But what about Bellator? Has Bellator ever sent you a message?
Yeah, I talked to Rich Chow the other day, and you know, Rich just told me, like, you know, it's just the same story with everybody, whether it's UFC or whether whoever it's with. It's like they're always, you know, oh, you know, you definitely are on our radar, been on our radar for a while, blah blah, but you know, nothing ever happens with it, you know, because it's just always some shit like, hey, you know, we don't need you right now, but we're going to call you on a week's notice. And, you know, I've just never been that fight. Like, I'm just tired of taking, like, my last 4 or 5 fights have all been short notice fights. And I'm tired of that shit, to be honest with you. So I just figured I would, you know, just wait and see what I could, you know, see what happens with me. And like I said, man, I'm making good money with these other promotions. It ain't like I'm getting paid shit, you know, anymore. I'm finally making good money with these. ACB was really cool to me, man. I fought for those guys 3 times. Really love those guys. And now Brave has picked me up because I really don't know the deal with ACB, honestly. They're just they're remapping and restructuring their stuff, which I understand because ACB promotes like amateurs. They do a lot of dumb shit. But as far as it being a good promotion, it's a great one. They just promote like shit. Like they just do dumb stuff. Like they go and have shows and bring a bunch of guys from different countries to these random countries that make no sense, where they're not going to sell any tickets. Like they just do a bunch of crazy stuff as far as that goes. So, but I really like, you know, I loved everything about ACB. It was cool. They paid great. They done really good shows. But at the end of the day, they just, you know, I don't know what their deal is right now. So I just needed to fight, and I'm tired of waiting. That's kind of the biggest, suckiest thing about these overseas promotions, man. It's like you just get drugged around, whether it's with money or whether it's with contract issues. You know, I got screwed over on that Art of War contract that I had, where they made me sign this contract, and then they let me have that one fight. I was supposed to fight for a title and come back over and have to sit on the shelf for 8 months. And then I got involved with RFA and now ACB. It's just, you know, these companies don't want me unless I'm signing these contracts with them. So it makes it hard, you know.
Like a one fight contract, can you say how many fights? Like a 1, a 2? Can you say how many?
3. Yeah. 3.
3-fight contract. That's not too bad. But do they?
I mean, the thing too is like, and that's the thing about ACB was before was like, they was putting on some shows and really doing a lot of things. So it wasn't like, I was worried about not getting the fights with them. But then all of a sudden at the end of this year, they're like, boom, they canceled like 4 or 5 shows. They're like, boom, we're not doing we're not doing no more shows but these 2 more this year. You can fight again for us maybe January or February. I'm like, dude, I'm not sitting around and waiting 6 more months. My contract was up. I never signed a new one. We had talked about doing another 3 fights with them, but it never happened. I never put pen on paper. So then I started looking around for fights. It took me forever, man, because like all these other companies were offering me shit money, and once I started making that good ass money with ACB, it was hard just to go along and say like, okay, I'm gonna fight for breadcrumbs again, because I put in my time, I put in my work, and I don't feel like I should have to get paid those measly paychecks anymore.
Where do you train out of? Well, what's your gym?
It's called D3 and D Eagle. It's kind of a couple different ones that we kind of merged together now. But to be honest with you, I have to go somewhere to train now, like until next. Until we can get some guys in the gym, man, like it's just kind of me and Quidbird. It's just kind of me and a few other guys in a minute. Yeah.
Is it in Tennessee?
Me and a couple of. Yeah, in Johnson City. It's like 30 minutes from my house, but I train at Casey Auction down some too. It's just hard, man. I just don't have a lot of training partners. So there's not a lot of people that can really. I'm not trying to be cocky or brag. But there's not a lot of guys in this area that can really compete with me and push me and make me work. So. I know I'm going to have to go somewhere, for at least a week just to get some. I can do all my cardio, I can do all that stuff, but I just need to get my butt. I need to get my butt beat up for a little while, So I'm thinking about going maybe Albuquerque or something like that. I'm a huge Mike Platinum Perry fan. I'd love to go out there and do some training with him and stuff like that, man.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. And like you said, and it's hard to find good sparring partners, good training partners. And I've noticed too in Tennessee, like in California, there's 50 fucking gyms, 50 MMA coaches. We live in a real country southern area where we don't really have a lot of MMA facilities.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of when I go to I've trained up at Muscle Farm up in Colorado twice. Loved it up there. I thought about even going back up there, but that gym's kind of closed down. They're kind of all out of I forget the name of that gym now, but they got some really solid guys, solid guys up there that I can train with. So that's definitely something I'm considering too. No, they didn't really go to Bang Logan's place. They went to damn, I know the name of that place. I just can't think of the name of it. Anyhow, but I'm trying to think of the name of it. But it's a cool place up there for sure.
Greg Jackson's like Albuquerque would be a good one, like you said. A lot of controversy going on now with Cowboy and Perry.
Yeah, so I talked to this girl named Tara LaRosa. I don't know if you know her or not. She was like kind of like a pioneer pretty much for women's MMA, essentially, So she's a straight OG. And she used to train with us in Johnson City. She's good friends with one of my buddies and trained with us a lot back in Johnson City. But that's where she trains out primarily. It was out there. She's from New Jersey, I think, but kind of done most of her training out there. Anyhow, she I was contacting her about going out there or whatever. So she's supposed to, hook me up. But she was talking about, how they're having all this rivalry right now with Cowboy and with Platinum Mike Perry and all this stuff. I didn't know any of that was going on. Because there's so many, they had so many guys there back in the day. They had a lot of guys that was fighting each other, like Condit, GSP. That's went on a lot at that gym because they got so many high caliber guys out there. So I really didn't know what she was talking about with all that, honestly.
Yeah, Cowboy.
You know about it?
Yeah, Cowboy, of course, has been at Jackson Wink forever. And Perry come in, and Winklejohn said that he wanted to ride with Perry instead of Cowboy. When they announced the fight, Cowboy was like, hey, I don't think Perry should be calling me out if we're in the same camp. And Winklejohn pretty much picked Perry's side and told Cowboy, well, we're riding with Mike Perry. Mike Perry pays us. Cowboy said on Joe Rogan Experience that I've never paid Winklejohn. I always paid Jackson directly, and it's kind of like it's more of a Mike Winkeljohn versus Cowboy than it is Mike Jackson and Winkeljohn versus Cowboy, if you know what I mean. And Cowboy is kind of he made it. They kicked him out basically. They told him don't come back. Winkeljohn told him to basically not come back.
Yeah.
So I guess.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, that's kind of the reason I've never really been interested in going to these bigger games either, just simply because, not necessarily shit like that, but, like, I just know, for instance, when I was in Colorado training, not that I didn't get good work, because I did. I stayed with the first time I stayed with Neil Magny at his house. And, he was super cool with me and all that stuff, but I just feel like there's not that one-on-one, pretty much where I'm at, Dustin Wallen and Matt and Casey and everybody, Caleb Cup, everybody that trained me is kind of more one-on-one with me. And I love that. I love that one-on-one training, and I soak stuff up that way. That's kind of the biggest thing I never really cared for about these bigger gyms, because I was wanting to go, and I went and trained with Daniel Mendez down at, it used to be Black Zillions, they closed down or whatever, but I went down there and trained with them in my last fight, and got some good work down there, dude. I mean, there was some good guys down there. They've got a really small facility, though. But I want to go some more elevation. I really like training in the elevation. That was kind of the biggest thing for me. Is like when I was up in Colorado, like, dude, you can fucking tell the big difference in that shit, like, compared to when you're not. Because I live pretty high up, too, so it wasn't that big of an adjustment for me. So I need to check on the elevation, actually, in Johannesburg before I do anything else, because I heard that I think my South Africa might be a little high too, and I don't want to go there and gas out. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. That definitely comes into play, the altitude of different places. And like you said too, you don't want to team up with Neil Magny. Going back to training partners, you don't want to train with Neil for 6 months, and then 6 months later you have to fight each other. Like, you get booked up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're fighting Neil." That's just a weird thing in camps too, like when John Jones and Rashad Evans was both a part of Jackson and they had to fight. It's happened a lot where two guys from the same camp have to fight, and it just makes things a little weird.
Yeah, I've never really understood that either. Like, but at the same time, it's good to have those guys in your gym. You got the top level guys in your gym, top level work you're getting every day, but at the same time, if y'all are in the same weight class, like with John Jones and Rashad Evans and there's going to come a day when y'all have to fight each other. It's going to happen. So you've either got to be prepared for that, or you've got to part ways earlier on in your career. You've got to make a decision. That's kind of the same way it was with DC and then Cain Velasquez. They said they never wanted to fight each other, but there's eventually going to be a time when they was going to have to. Because DC don't want that John Jones action again. That's for sure. He's scared to death of Jones, boy.
I think he's kind of over Jones. I think he's kind of over it.
Well, I understand that, but he calling out anybody but John Jones. You know what I'm saying?
He did just come back, though. I think he's kind of late. I think he's done with the John Jones. I think he's going to fight, of course, Derek Lewis, and then he's going to fight Brock, and then he's probably gone. I think DC is going to sleep at night happy, knowing that, I went 0-2 against him, but he was cheating both times in his eyes. Obviously, he got popped the second time. The first time, who knows? There was no USADA back then. But in DC's mind, I think he's just accepted the fact that John Jones is a cheater in my eyes. I'll never fight him again, and that's just okay with me.
Right.
In his opinion, in the way he looks at it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a John Jones fan, but, John Jones is, I don't know. I can't never tell if John Jones, John Jones doing a little cocaine and gets busted for it. Don't really see how that is if somebody's smoking pot. But here's the thing I always get mad about too when I talk to people or people are fucking fussing about getting popped with a drug test and this, that, and third. Like, if you sign a contract that says I won't drink Pepsi for this entire camp, and you drink a Pepsi and somebody sees you and bust your ass, you're a dumbass. When somebody's on probation and they know they're not supposed to smoke pot, they smoke pot and they go to jail, they get mad as fuck at the probation officer, you're a dumbass. Mm-hmm. It's not nobody else's fault but your own. You're a dumbass. That's what it boils down to. So I just never agreed with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the reason be, whatever it is, that's your failed drug test or whatever. You signed a paper saying you wouldn't do that and you've done it. Now, whether, John Jones actually done performance-enhancing drugs, probably. I would say every fucking body does them in the UFC, especially top-level guys.
It kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. There's the fighting life, and then there's private, personal life.
Yeah.
Like, inside that cage, inside that octagon, nobody can fuck with Jones. But outside of it, he's his biggest enemy.
Yeah. Yeah. What I do like about John, and I was a huge Brock Lesnar fan too, is like, man, like, the thing I like about John Jones is, like, you got to think, John Jones, there's nobody on this earth that can beat John Jones up. That's how I feel. Like, they said baddest man on the planet is always the heavyweight champion. John Jones, in my eyes, there's nobody that can beat up John Jones. Like, I don't think Stipe could. I don't think that DC can't. Francis couldn't. Probably the best fight that I ever thought that would be for John Jones, as far as actually being a great ass fight, was Junior Dos Anjos. Is that his name?
Yeah, Dos Santos.
Yeah, Junior Dos Santos. Yeah, Junior. I thought that Junior. I was thinking Rafael. Yeah, Junior. Yeah. Junior is by far, I think, like the coolest fight ever.
I think it's a shame that we never seen prime Anderson Silva versus prime John Jones.
So that'd be badass too.
Because Anderson would legit have a chance there. Because Anderson's got slick submissions. He's lengthy and long. I believe Prime Anderson might have beat Prime Jones. That's a tough one.
I don't know. Yeah.
And what weight class are they doing it at? 205? What would they'd have to meet at 205?
Yeah, they'd have to. John Jones ain't making 85. John Jones probably struggles to make 205, I would say. John Jones is a big dude, bro. I met Czech Pongo and I met John Jones when we was at a hotel up in New Jersey. They walked by. I didn't really meet them. They walked by. John Jones is a fucking massive.
And Czech is a legit heavyweight.
Dude is bigger than Czech, bro. Like, he is huge.
And Czech looks like he's carved out of fucking stone.
Yeah. Czech. John Jones makes Czech look small.
Yeah, he could have easily been a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And probably will fight a heavyweight before it's all said and done.
Yeah, for sure.
But I appreciate you coming on the show so much, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Shout out to my boy Randy Duke. I got my boy Randy Duke shirt on tonight. Shout out to Randy Duke.
That's what I was about to say. If you want to do a shout out.
It's my homie down in Myrtle Beach. I just want to thank everybody. Anybody that helps me or supports me or likes my videos or anything fight related wise, man, it's awesome that I have all the support that I do. So I appreciate them. Appreciate all my training partners, everybody that helps me get ready for this fight wherever I go, and then of course Brave FC for signing me and giving me some good fights. Going to South Africa, pretty badass. I went to some pretty cool ass destinations. I feel like so. South Africa is definitely another one to hang on to.
Definitely, and you've definitely earned. I was a fan before, and I'm even more of a fan now because you got to sit and have a conversation with you, man to man, talk to you about music,
sure, man.
All kinds of stuff, and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, brother. Have a great night, man. I appreciate you.
You too. Be careful.
Thanks, buddy.
Whew. Adam Townsend. Prime time. That was a good interview. Good dude. Newly signed, a lot of good matchups for him. Next fight in South Africa, that'd be fucking dope. Just to fight in the States, then go to South Africa or Italy or other places. That's in my opinion, is one of the dopest parts about being a free agent, is fighting in all these different countries, like he said. I agree with a lot of what he said. Don't on a little bit. Shout out MGK. Rap Devil was better than Killshot. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Rap Devil's better than Killshot. A lot of people ask too, I'm just going to bring this up. Everybody who's watched me knows I always have my hair slicked back, always with pomade. If anybody who's wondering, this is what my hair looks like without pomade. It'll stay back. I have no hair on the back and the sides, as you can tell. Like, I have a line cut, and all this is gone normally. I have I take a no guard all the way around to my back, and my sides have nothing. So, I mean, imagine just the hair with none on the back and the sides. But normally I have pomade, slicked it completely back. I have none in it right now, as you can tell. I have really curly hair with no pomade, but this is what my hair looks like with no pomade. I fucking hate it. It's so aggravating. But I thank you all for listening. I thank you all for watching. Shout out MMA, period. I'm not doing no specific shout out. Shout out MMA. Hashtag MMA family. This is Hank for Break MMA. Be careful, guys.